Good morning, people. Welcome to Real Talk. And this Chuck Liddell situation right here is starting to get ugly. I'm over there looking at the Sherdog boards right now, or looking at the story on the front page. And, John Hackelman and Dana White are trading words. John Hackelman is, of course, Chuck Liddell's long-term trainer. And as we all know, Dana White has been insisting that after UFC 97, when Chuck Liddell got blasted by Mauricio Hua, that was his last fight. And I think Dana White even had an agreement with Chuck or something that if he didn't win this fight in spectacular fashion, he'd retire. And that's what Chuck Liddell apparently promised. And they talked about that a little bit at the press conference, and he reiterated it, just recently. Well, I could see this coming a mile away. You're dealing with two camps. The UFC, of course, headed by Dana White, and Chuck Liddell and his camp. Chuck Liddell has been very successful, and him and the UFC have been very lucrative together. He's been the big star, the big poster boy when it really blew up. Now, with success comes ego and pride, and you're dealing with two men with some very big egos. Chuck Liddell still thinks he has it. And as you all know, the players will always last to know when it's over. And Dana White, like almost anybody with common sense, clearly sees that it's over. He likes Chuck Liddell personally. They've been friends for a while and, been very successful together. So Dana White, wants him to retire, come to the UFC front office. He's basically set for life. Why keep fighting? You're 40. But Chuck, he still wants to get in there and fight, still wants it, still has the itch. And of course, John Hackelman's his trainer, and they've been together for a long time, so he's with Chuck on that. However, it's like I said, these egos are clashing, and this has the real potential to get really nasty. Not real nasty, but just really bad for Chuck, because as Chuck, he has one fight left on his contract, and unlike the Randy Couture situation, he's not a champion, so they don't have that champion's clause or anything to really just keep this guy locked in, like they did Randy. However, I think a lot of people accuse Dana of something he doesn't want. He just doesn't want his Chuck Liddell to go to another promotion. However, I think Dana's objections to Chuck continuing his career are genuine. Chuck Liddell clearly is finished. I mean, yeah, he lost to some great guys, but he didn't lose in a great way to great guys. He's getting smoked in there. He's getting, knocked out, getting knocked unconscious. That getting knocked unconscious is not healthy. I mean, you think, just go to sleep? I mean, you're losing shit like that. Because I know I got rocked a couple times in practice or something. It's like your brain cells are bouncing off the back of your head. That's never a good thing. And Chuck Liddell's 40 right now. It's, you heal slower, you get slower, your voice starts to get a little slurred, and, you really don't need this. Chuck Liddell's already set for life. There's no reason for him to be in there fighting. The only thing that's going to happen if Chuck Liddell continues to fight is he will suffer brain damage, or as I call it, Dane damage. This is a bad idea, but however, Dana's problem in this is, like I said before, this is a situation with egos, and when you put egos together, bad things happen, and that's the problem, and that's what's going on right now. Egos are clashing. Dana White basically made this decision for Chuck Liddell. He already said he was retired, just threw it out. And I couldn't imagine anyone liking someone else saying they're retired, just calling it off like that. Especially when you mistakenly think you still can go. Dana White, he should have kept most of this behind closed doors, not publicly retiring Chuck Liddell. I mean, it was basically the old Yeller treatment or something. He should have been a little more sensitive to Chuck right there, and not, go to and not just go to the public and just say it's over, putting him, I'm retiring him, it's confirmed, it's it. At the same time, Chuck Liddell should have enough sense to realize it's over. Apparently, he made an agreement to Dana White saying that he promises to retire if if he doesn't beat Mauricio Shogun convincingly. Um, Now, maybe he shouldn't have been put on the spot to make that promise. I concede that, but however, that's not important. What is important now is Chuck Liddell's health. And this dude's made a lot of money right now. He's in a better position he's probably one of the better positions of most, not just mixed, he's definitely in the best position of any mixed martial artist to walk away from the game ever. He's a millionaire, he's a superstar. He can walk away right now with still a little bit of his health, a whole lot of money, and just basically, enjoy the fruits of his success. 40 is a very old age for a fighter, but it's a very young age for a human being. And this guy at 40 is probably set for life. He doesn't have to worry about anything. He has a great opportunity to walk away right now. If he continues fighting, it's just more knockouts. People are figuring out this guy's style. I don't think he can change significantly enough to compete with today's, elite athletes. And there's no point in this of a superstar like Chuck Liddell going to fight cans and nobodies and beginners or something like that. That would be ridiculous. This guy's a superstar. He should, go out like a superstar. Go out with some of his legacy still intact, because right now he's going to look in the mirror and he's going to see Ken Shamrock. Basically, years over, just going, still looking for that last win, that last fight or something. And John Hackleman, he has just made this situation so much worse by running his mouth. He really needs to shut the fuck up. Now, he's probably Chuck Liddell's mouthpiece on this, but even so, he should shut the fuck up. It's one thing, Dana White may not be right on this, the way he's going about it, just publicly putting Chuck Liddell away. However, John Hackleman, it's like, I won't question how much he cares for Chuck, because he's been with Chuck for over 20 years. Or not over 20, probably over at least the better part of 20 years. They've been together forever, longer than anybody. So I won't question that he cares for Chuck. However, what he's doing is not in his fighter's best interest. It's like John Hackleman should clearly see what's happening to Chuck Liddell when he gets in that ring. He's losing these fights. He's not just losing. He's getting hurt in these fights, knocked out. He's too old for that, to keep getting hit in the head all the time. There's no reason for him to keep getting out there. Yeah, I'm sure I appreciate his passion. However, his body has failed him. It's over. Now, whether or not you like that, and plus, he has an opportunity to remain with the company he helped build for at least, as long as he wants to be. He can transition perfectly from from the fighter to front office personality, whatever they have for him in there. And, he can still be, part of promotions. He can do what he wants. He can have a lot of fun and enjoy his success. This whole thing, pushing Chuck Liddell to fight, which he may or may not be doing, is a bad idea. He should be helping Chuck Liddell towards help push Chuck Liddell towards retirement. Help ease along the way, be the other voice that Dana White needs to have there, instead of just running his mouth against Dana White and creating controversy, because that's the only thing he's doing. And like I said, it's throwing stuff around. People are saying that if Dana White's just trying to keep a cash cow or something from going somewhere else, then I think John Hackleman's probably doing the same thing, because Dana White said, Dana White made a good point. He's like, hey, who else is coming out of the pit? John Hackleman's camp. He ain't no Greg Jackson. He ain't no Mark Delagrade. Definitely ain't no Randy Couture. Chuck Liddell is basically the only thing he has there. So maybe he's keeping his, career alive, but I don't know. And I don't care. Both of these guys are making like little mistakes, but one thing's for certain. Chuck Liddell is done. He needs to stop being stupid and retire. His trainer needs to shut up, and Dana needs to calm down. And hopefully this ends well. I mean, this has been a good relationship for all those involved. And, hopefully it doesn't end ugly or end with Chuck Liddell, going somewhere else and end up with a bunch of concussions. That's just my take on it. Thank you for listening. I'll see y'all later.